I think there's 3 here in Ohio. Is that right? Yeah. There's 3 here in Ohio. You can see those secondamendmentmarch.com. There's a United States map there. Just look for the bubble and click on that, and it'll tell you when and where to be there. I believe next month I got to go to Salt Lake City, and I got to go Missouri next month. So that's a big month. I'll be traveling all over the country, and Daniel doesn't know it yet, but so will he. Many hands make light work. That's the first phase, and that's designed to build grassroots support. People like you, just average citizens. We need your support. We need your strength of numbers. We need the work that you can do. We need your hands. We need your wallets. We need your mouths. So that's what the first phase is. The second phase is we'll be holding 50 state capitol rallies. That will begin in March. And that'll start in the south, in the southern states where it's warm. I'm going to try and hit as many of those as I can. And move north as it gets warmer. That will finish up in April, around the 3rd weekend in April. We'll be done with that. And on April 19th, 2010 is the culmination of all of our work. Over a year of, over a year of work. And we'll be meeting in Washington, D.C. Now, I've caught a lot of crap for doing what I'm doing. From a lot of different people. I've been abused by the best and the worst, and that's okay. It appears that's my lot. I've had all kinds of people come up and tell me either you can't do that or you shouldn't do that. Anyone who knows me knows that you shouldn't tell me I can't do that. Because people have been telling me that my whole life. And if there's one thing that you learn in the Marine Corps, it's that you can. The nice thing about the military is you learn things in the military that you can't learn in civilian life. And when I was in the Marine Corps, they pushed me to my limits and then pushed me beyond. And I wish that everyone here could experience something like that. Because when someone tells you that you can't do something, or that you shouldn't do something, then maybe it needs to get done. And I think the Second Amendment March is one of those things. It's got to get done. You know, I've had people tell me, you know, you shouldn't do that. You know, some of the wildest, most bizarre emails I've gotten. Probably from the homeless guy up in Traverse City with a ball. I didn't notice if he had a Palm Pilot or anything, but you know, people have said, well, you know, aren't you afraid that a suicide bomber will plant himself in the crowd and blow himself up to hurt the Second Amendment? And I thought, no. Or they're afraid, well, what if you don't have enough people? Then the politicians will say the Second Amendment is not important to the American people anymore. That's a valid concern. My answer to that is, well, buy your plane ticket and come to Washington, D.C., and you don't have to worry about it. The thing is, we have to make it work. Because there's a lot of things happening in the United States today that have never happened before. A lot of things are happening that are taking away our freedom. They're chipping away. Used to be they chip away a little bit at a time. But have you noticed in the last 6 months or so that things are happening faster? I mean, who would have thought 2 years ago that things would be happening in the United States the way they are happening right now? I never would have guessed it. I wouldn't have. About 6 months ago, I figured it out. and got on board. I got with the program. Ohio is a special place. And I don't say that because I'm sucking up. I say that because out of all 50 states, Ohio, when I look at our web stats every week, Ohio, since the day we started this, has been #1 in web traffic. Second is Texas.
Sure, go ahead, Cliff.
And I think probably a lot of that is due in large part to OFCC. So pat yourselves on the back because you guys are doing a great job. Daniel back here, he's been a good addition. We've got 14 states officially on board right now. We've got 14 state coordinators. And it's interesting to note, my perspective on Second Amendment activism has changed since February. Because, you know, I'm from Michigan. I was a Michigan activist. I cut my teeth, my Second Amendment teeth with Ted Nugent. You've heard of him. Ted, if you don't know him, he pretty much, if he's thinking it, he's saying it. And I joined an organization 15 years ago or so called Ted Nugent. I think back then it was Ted Nugent World Bow Hunters, and then it became Ted Nugent United Sportsmen of America. And I became the Michigan State Director for Ted Nugent United Sportsmen. And as such, I held a lot of pro-Second Amendment rallies. And I quickly noticed that Ted is kind of a special guy. I have never seen Ted Nugent lose an argument with an anti-gunner.
Is an anti-gunner brave enough to talk to him?
I've seen it, and it wasn't pretty. But I tell you, one of the reasons that Ted doesn't lose arguments is because he doesn't care what they think about him. He already knows what they think about him. They hate his guts. They hate his guts because he doesn't back down, because he doesn't apologize, because he's bold, because he's brave, and he speaks with passion from his heart, the truth. And more of us need to do that. I think one of the most dangerous things that have happened in our country in the last 20 years has been political correctness.
Amen.
And I'm here to tell you.
Can't say that.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. I can say any damn thing I want. This is America with a C, not America with a K. My grandfather, God rest his soul, if he wanted to say something, he said it. He didn't apologize. He didn't cower. He didn't say, what if the neighbor thinks bad things about me? He didn't think that. He just said, get off my lawn.